Dave Stewart built one of the most remarkable careers in Major League Baseball history. A three-time World Series champion, four-time 20-game winner, World Series MVP, and Roberto Clemente Award winner, he's remembered as one of the most intimidating pitchers of his generation. But his journey to the top was anything but straightforward. Before becoming Smoke, the clutch performer who dominated October baseball, Stewart hit what he called his rock bottom, a period in the mid-1980s marked by serious personal struggles and professional setbacks that nearly ended his career before it truly began. Born in Oakland, California in 1957, Stewart's path to baseball stardom took a dramatic turn during his time with the Los Angeles Dodgers and Texas Rangers in the mid-1980s. This period would test him in ways no opponent ever could. In 1984, Stewart faced a difficult situation involving his Dodgers teammate Steve Howe. Howe, the 1980 Rookie of the Year, was struggling with severe cocaine addiction. Stewart later admitted publicly that he knew Howe was using cocaine, even during games, but chose not to report it. His reasoning was simple: he didn't want to be seen as a snitch, and he believed the drug use wasn't affecting Howe's performance. This decision reflected the complex culture of professional sports at the time, where loyalty to teammates often conflicted with institutional rules and a teammate's well-being. Howe's addiction would eventually lead to repeated relapses and his banishment from baseball, raising questions about whether earlier intervention might have helped. What do you think about the loyalty dilemmas athletes face when teammates struggle with addiction? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're enjoying this deep dive into baseball history, hit that subscribe button for more stories about the complex lives of sports legends. The following year brought Stewart's most publicized personal crisis. While pitching for the Texas Rangers in 1985, he was arrested on suspicion of lewd conduct with a prostitute. He pleaded no contest to the lesser charge of soliciting a prostitute, receiving a fine, probation, and a suspended sentence. What happened next showed Stewart's approach to crisis management. Just 2 days after his arrest, he was scheduled to receive the Good Guys Award from Dallas-Fort Worth sports writers. Rather than avoiding the ceremony, Stewart attended and publicly admitted his guilt and expressed his shame. This moment of transparency, uncomfortable as it was, helped him control the narrative and begin moving forward from the incident. Stewart's on-field performance was also struggling during this period. After a poor relief appearance that cost the Rangers the lead in 1985, frustrated home fans booed him loudly. Stewart's response was to call the fans idiots and challenge them to try doing his job. The outburst cost him a $500 fine from the team. Combined with his ineffective pitching, this lack of composure made him appear volatile and expendable in the eyes of the organization. The lowest point came in 1986, shortly after Stewart joined the Oakland Athletics. Following a home run by Tony Bernazard, Stewart threw what's known as a purpose pitch behind the next batter, shortstop Julio Franco. This type of pitch is thrown to send a message or retaliate. Cleveland Indians manager Pat Corrales rushed onto the field demanding Stewart be ejected. The confrontation escalated quickly. When Corrales approached the mound, Stewart punched him with a right cross to the jaw. The benches cleared, and Stewart received a 4-game suspension and a fine from the league. This act of physical aggression against a manager represented the peak of Stewart's behavioral struggles. These 4 incidents between 1984 and 1986 paint a picture of someone dealing with serious personal and professional turmoil. Stewart was at what he himself described as rock bottom. He was humiliated and discarded, with no big league teams wanting his services. His signing with his hometown Oakland Athletics was, by his own account, an act of desperation. But this crisis became a turning point. The complete collapse of his relief pitching career, combined with the weight of his personal struggles, forced Stewart to make fundamental changes. Being relegated to a minor league tryout opened the door for a career transformation. Under manager Tony La Russa and pitching coach Dave Duncan, Stewart converted from a reliever to a starting pitcher. This change required new levels of discipline, preparation, and mental focus. The role demanded consistency over an entire season rather than short bursts of performance. Stewart had to rebuild his approach to the game from the ground up, learning to pace himself and manage his emotions over the course of long outings. The transformation worked spectacularly. From 1987 to 1990, Stewart won 20 or more games 4 consecutive seasons with the Athletics. He became known for his intimidating presence on the mound and his ability to perform in high-pressure situations. His trademark stare became legendary, as he would glare at batters with an intensity that made them uncomfortable even before the first pitch. Stewart's fastball and forkball combination proved devastating. He developed a reputation as someone who wanted the ball in the biggest moments. When the Athletics needed a win in a crucial game, Stewart was the pitcher they turned to. His postseason performances were particularly impressive as he seemed to elevate his game when the stakes were highest. In 1989, he won the World Series MVP award. In 1990, he received the Roberto Clemente Award for his community service. He won World Series championships with 3 different teams, cementing his reputation as a big-game pitcher. However, even during his peak success, Stewart's confrontational nature surfaced again. In February 1994, while a member of the Toronto Blue Jays, Stewart and teammate Todd Stottlemyre were arrested in Dunedin, Florida, after an altercation at a nightclub. The incident reportedly started over Stewart's refusal to pay a small cover fee. Stewart faced serious charges, including battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting arrest with violence. During the 7-day jury trial, witnesses alleged that Stewart had taunted police officers by referencing his $1 million salary. Stewart was accused of punching an officer during the confrontation. After deliberating for just 36 minutes, the jury found both pitchers not guilty on all charges. While the acquittal protected Stewart legally, the incident suggested that the aggressive impulses from his earlier years hadn't completely disappeared, even after achieving tremendous success and wealth. After retiring from playing, Stewart worked as a coach and sports agent before taking on an executive role. In 2014, he was hired as general manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks, working under Chief Baseball Officer Tony La Russa. This position would lead to what some consider Stewart's second major professional crisis, though this time it was about strategic decision-making rather than personal conduct. Stewart's tenure with the Diamondbacks lasted only 2 seasons. He was fired in October 2016 after the team posted a disappointing 69-93 record. Industry analysts quickly dubbed the regime led by La Russa and Stewart the reign of error, criticizing the front office as a laughingstock due to what they perceived as basic incompetence, particularly regarding understanding draft rules, bonus pools, and international signing regulations. The criticism was unusually harsh, with baseball insiders questioning whether Stewart and La Russa had adapted to the modern game at all. The most criticized decision of Stewart's executive career was the December 2015 trade that brought pitcher Shelby Miller to Arizona. The Diamondbacks gave up center fielder Ender Inciarte and 2 highly regarded prospects, Aaron Blair and Dansby Swanson, who had just been selected as the #1 overall pick in the 2015 draft. The deal was criticized immediately and universally. Stewart defended the trade by saying he went with his gut. Unfortunately, Miller struggled badly, posting a career-worst 6.15 ERA in 2016, dealing with injuries, and even being demoted to AAA. Meanwhile, Swanson became a star shortstop for the Atlanta Braves, and Inciarte earned a lucrative contract extension. The trade is consistently cited as one of the worst in modern baseball history. Baseball analysts pointed out that modern valuation tools would have immediately flagged the trade as wildly unbalanced, suggesting Stewart's front office either didn't use these tools or ignored their findings entirely. Beyond the Miller trade, Stewart's front office made other costly mistakes. When signing Cuban pitcher Yoan Lopez for $8 million, the organization demonstrated unfamiliarity with international bonus pool rules. This mistake resulted in an additional $8 million penalty fine and a ban from signing any international free agents for 2 signing periods, dealing a severe blow to the team's ability to develop talent. The error was particularly damaging because it handicapped the organization's ability to compete for young international talent, at a time when many contending teams were building their rosters through this avenue. Sources also reported that Stewart attempted to execute another trade in early 2015 that would have violated MLB rules, requiring the other team's general manager to explain the regulations to him. Additional questionable decisions included signing Cuban slugger Yasmani Tomas to a 6-year, $68.5 million contract. While Thomas hit 31 home runs in 1 season, his extremely low on-base percentage and defensive problems resulted in negative overall value. The front office also lost reliever Will Harris on waivers. Harris became an all-star with the Houston Astros, posting a 2.07 ERA over the next 2 seasons. Stewart's firing in October 2016 was the direct result of these accumulated strategic errors. After his dismissal, he attempted to shift blame, claiming his gut had told him not to make the Miller trade. The failures of his executive tenure demonstrated the challenge of transitioning from player to front office leader in baseball's increasingly analytical era. The instincts and confidence that served him well on the mound didn't translate to the complex, data-driven environment of modern baseball operations. Dave Stewart's career presents a study in contrasts. The same intensity and aggression that made him a dominant, intimidating pitcher also contributed to his personal struggles and confrontational incidents. As an executive, his reliance on gut feelings and traditional baseball instincts clashed with the analytical approach that had become essential for success in front offices. His story illustrates that the qualities that make someone excellent in one role don't automatically transfer to another, even within the same sport. Despite these struggles and failures, Stewart's legacy as a player remains secure. As Smoke, he was one of the most clutch performers in baseball history. His 4 consecutive 20-win seasons, 3 World Series championships with different teams, and reputation as a big-game pitcher ensure his place in baseball lore. His journey from rock bottom in the mid-1980s to the top of his profession shows remarkable resilience and the capacity for personal transformation. Stewart's story reminds us that athletes are complex people who face challenges both on and off the field. Success in sports doesn't guarantee success in other areas of life, and even the most decorated careers include difficult chapters. For more deep dives into the complicated legacies of sports figures, subscribe to the channel and let us know in the comments which athlete's story you'd like us to explore next.